Welcome back to Sure as Shade. Hey, I'm Shade. Tonight we continue our conversation with San Antonio community leader and philanthropist Kodi Kareem. He's going to tell us about his coming out and about finding family in the San Antonio nightlife scene.
So let's switch gears for a second. Are you comfortable discussing your sexual identity?
Sure. I am a gay man, cisgender male. I identify as he, him. And so, yeah.
How long have you known that, or when did you become aware or come out?
I think I've known that I was different well into my early childhood. I think the word gay, to identify myself, first came into my mind officially like the 7th grade, somewhere in middle school. And to be upfront and direct, it was because like when we all go take a piss at the urinal, I'd always like to sneak a peek at the other boys.
Uh-huh.
And then one day I said to myself, you know what, I do this a lot. I do this like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? And then maybe I'm gay. But yeah, it was throughout the years I started to really realize who I was. I came out to my first friend junior year of high school. And, you know, the moment you tell someone that you're gay, it becomes a very... You feel free suddenly. You feel like you're comfortable to be who you are. Even if it's just one person, it's like, oh, thank God, I've been holding my breath for 10 years. You finally let those folks know. And then eventually college kind of wavered back and forth by telling people, not telling people. I officially came out in September of 2013, I think it was the year. Maybe it was 2011. It's been a while. Mm-hmm. But I say that because it was when I was turned 29 years old, I finally just told mom and dad and other family members. It went as well as I imagined. But that was the moment where I was like, okay, it's out. No more. It's no more. I can't pretend to be one or two things. And that's when I really just got to be who I am and still have remained. So I spent most of my 30s trying to reclaim the gay, you know, I don't want to say lifestyle, but just being out of the closet because I missed so much. You know, like I never got to have that high school coming out or
right.
even college coming out. The awakening, the fun things you do in your 20s, the mistakes and regrets you have in your 20s, and all this other stuff.
Did you experience any friction when you came out?
Oh, yeah. I think the day that I came out was the second to last day I ever talked to my dad. Wow. He threw me out. Didn't want anything to do. I was raised in an Islamic household by my father. And funny enough, my mom's Catholic, so there's a lot of fun stuff to talk about there. Yeah. But no, Dad didn't want anything to do with it. He made it very clear that that's not something he was ever going to accept, and he and I have not reconciled. But he has another son, so I guess you can live with him. I think about him a lot, though. You know, and it's not easy to just forget one half of your life and move into the other half. But yeah, mom and dad, even mom, we don't really bring it up much in detail. She hasn't been as strict as my father about having me in her life and things like that. But yeah, I've experienced a lot of the same headaches and pains and some friend loss as well. But also, I'm very happy about the amount of friends I gained. That's one thing about bar culture that I really enjoyed. Was that, and that's what kept me in bars for a very long time, is that I found a new family. Men and women who just seemed to have no problem with me being there. I just made a lot of friends very fast. My Facebook list, when I bring up Facebook, I'm really dating myself right now. About 10 or even now, 10 years ago till now, the question about whether the gay bar was necessary anymore was becoming a topic because, as you mentioned, historically that's where we would all gather. But let's face it, we gathered there because we wanted to hook up. This was before our little digital apps told us where we can meet up to meet on the back alley or something like that. I do think that the gay bar in particular now has a new kind of significance. I do think it's become a new public house now, community meeting ground where... now we're entering a very strange 4 years of unpredictability, but I do think us finding a gathering place is going to be necessary where we can pat each other on the back and lick our wounds and and make ourselves realize that we are still loved and cared for. And I know that maybe not everyone's going to agree with me on that, but that's where I found my solace as a gay man now, is in the bar. And maybe I do spend a little too much time there, but I also kept returning to the same bars because the people there always made me feel so welcome.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Next up, we'll be talking with Kodi about queer art and culture. Check it out on the next Sure as Shade.